But our killing of one another is new, and that has to be addressed. So I said, I'm looking for 10,000 fearless men. We need 10,000 fearless men to go inside the black community and stand in between the guns of the gangs and then settle this with conflict resolution and bring peace in our own community.
A decade, a group called the Peacekeepers spends at least 1 hour a week hitting the streets. They're organized by leaders with the Mosque 46 in New Orleans East, and the volunteers are trying to stop the beef by de-escalating conflicts between groups before someone is senselessly killed.
The Peacekeepers, a group of about 50, is organized by leaders at Mosque number 46 of the Nation of Islam, including Brother Willie Muhammad. Since 2009, adorned in orange t-shirts, they go door to door reaching out to the young and old, sharing tips with those willing to listen, like how to find jobs, get a driver's license or GED, and even expunge criminal records. Members come from varying backgrounds like pastors, politicians, teachers, others representing the city's social aid and pleasure clubs.
When you see the Peacekeepers, you're looking at hope.
This is a place where we actually hold our mediations, our conflict resolution mediations. And when we're here, we set the table up and we make sure that there's an adequate amount of space between those two, the parties or the individuals that have sought our help to help them to resolve whatever conflict that they are involved in. And we try to make sure that when they first enter this building that they come into a very warm and welcoming environment, because we know that we're about to engage in some discussions that are going to get very heated, that are going to get very tense, and people will be very passionate about. So normally when we're here, you will see members of the mediation team, you will see them. The mediation team will sit at the head of the table. We would also have some of the other members of the New Orleans Peacekeepers strategically placed in certain areas in the room in the event that it gets so heated that someone may try to physically attack someone else. But we haven't had that situation yet, so they are also participating or seated in this environment. We also make sure that we put some of our information out on the table so that when people come in, they can know what we're doing. And I would encourage those who see this video to give us the opportunity to help you to save your life or the life of a loved one, because too many people are dying over things that are very, very trivial, and it's based upon misunderstanding, gossip, incorrect perception.
As Evan Anderson reports, the group has already prevented situations that it says could have turned deadly.
He was in his back parking lot area, and the guys were driving.
Darren McCall, a social worker at this Broad Street Learning Center, was on his way to work one morning when he noticed something wasn't right.
I saw that he was troubled. He was having some trouble or sort of stressing over some things. And I just kind of asked him what was going on, and we got to talking.
He says one of his students felt threatened by two other young men driving by in their car.
He was kind of hanging out here in the corner, and there were some other guys that were passing back and forth, and he kind of thought that they may be trying to harm him in some kind of way, maybe shoot him or do some other things. So he expressed to me the intention to go get a gun or some sort of weapon out of his car so then he could retaliate against them.
But McCall quickly intervened. He went and got one of his co-workers, a member of Peacekeepers, for help.
And he came down and talked to him, and then we went and talked to the other guys and kind of brought them together. And I think it was the best sort of resolution at the end of the conversation that we had. The guys that he thought were looking at him weren't even looking at him. They were trying to look at some girls or trying to look at somebody else.
Turned violent, and we must warn you, what happens here is graphic and frightening.